Hey. Yep. Okay. Enough. Okay. Um, if you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast fest, you put it down below. I'm your friendly neighborhood Schizologist. Testing out there. Hello to the world and to all public places and brothers and sisters from another mother. This video, see, I didn't say my intro, okay, is about eugenetics. The study of genetics, as a matter of fact. It's not a pseudoscience. But my friend who's a homosexual says it's a pseudoscience, and I agree with him to a degree, of course, because you haven't done the research, and I'm just going on the media and research. Do you understand? Okay. But of course, if you have children, this video is about children. How to know if your children is pretty much retarded or autistic. Okay, yeah, I still use the word retarded because my terminology of retarded is on the far left. There's a spectrum, a totem pole. There's a totem pole to those who can't understand my ebonics. Listen carefully. Again, I've talked to hundreds of children, and you haven't. Okay, so if you haven't been there with the children firsthand, you really should shut the fuck up. If you haven't been a doctor and you haven't gave any testing questions to children in person, okay, then you should shut the fuck up. Okay, all right. Here we go. Okay, how to tell if your child is autistic. How to tell if your child is just being bad. Okay, how to tell. Now, I'm gonna go back to history a little bit. This is what I read. Back in the 1930s to the 40s, when the white masters was running the colonists, okay, who conquered America, killed off the Native Americans, they were very disciplined back in the day. So the older you go, the more discipline and certain actions they took, such as virginity, chastity belt. Okay, y'all don't know about a chastity belt. Okay, but that's another subject for another day. If you want to know, you have to basically understand what a dunce is. Dunce. Remember the white kids was turned around in the wall and they would have the little cone hats, which represented like the Ku Klux Klan. A lot of discipline was used back in those days in the 1940s, 30s to 40s, up into the 50s. And after a while, then the 70s came and they started, fucking everything up with sex and drugs. Okay, all right. Before that, you have to understand that when there was discipline, there was a more stiff society because everyone was educated. More people was educated. Black people was more educated, because of suffering. So suffering creates a lot of disciplinary actions and people with good memories and a sternness, how the white daddy was back in those days. Because you never heard of a black daddy until like the 80s, okay, right? So, other than that, okay, let's say you have a child, okay, and deep down inside you're autistic as a parent. One of you have to be autistic. I don't know. Okay, did you get yourself tested? So let's start off with the parents. The parents either starting off logical or disciplined, okay, or they're just being nonchalant about life. You go around and you don't even know the history of a person. I know my mom is partially schizophrenic, okay? But schizophrenia does not interfere with intellectual prowess, okay? You know what I'm saying? Some people, just different levels of schizophrenia. Mine's is on the inquisition side, okay? So I make sure my voice is not disturbing my peace because I know how to control them. They don't control me. They actually help me, okay, in the long run. They help me more than other schizos, okay? I'm on the higher frequency, indigo child, Asperger's type individual. So to get to the point, of course, if one of you have autism or retardation, now autism is like, after to be retarded, it's like you can't control your motor functions. You just can't. You're just fucking retarded, or someone just calls you retarded out of spite, or just being roasting your ass. Okay, right? You don't want to be retarded in real life because you just can't control yourself. Ratchet and some shit. Okay, you just can't control yourself. And then the next level is a certain form of autism, okay? Autism is the next spectrum down. To my perspective, autism is like some kind of ADHD or some sort of deficit. So it's harder to concentrate when you have ADHD. You can't pay attention. Most people are like this. They can't pay attention unless they're excited in some kind of way. Okay, and then the middle ground, okay, it's usually most people, religious people, delusional people, okay, you know what I'm saying? Well, I fit in that. I fit in more like more on the, the schizoaffective side, okay? So I'm a bit more on the intelligent side, okay, on the right side. So the more right you go, the more logical you become. The more left you go, okay, the more retarded you go, okay, all right? So that's why they say leftist and they always talk like that. But really, to me, L means logical, whatever, okay? In politics, the leftist is the ones that use their emotion without any research. But if you're on the far right, they have more logic. That's why the Republican Tea Party is more smarter than the democracy, Democrats, okay? So, other than that, if you know yourself very well and you have a child, okay, that gene is going to carry over to that child. I've seen countless kids where I tell them, why don't you help them with a little discipline? Discipline is a key element to understand if your child, okay, is fucked up. You must start discipline at a young age, very young age. You must start your fucking discipline early. Back in those days, a good spanking is well more efficient and more effective than telling a child to go in the corner. We should know this. Real parents know this. The hand, just like a king should smack his wife. Okay, So discipline helps the woman to fix her conjunctions in her head. Okay, it works very quickly, and she learns to fear her husband. Fear is much stronger than love. Okay, just like a female fears to be alone because of insecurities, because of her wanting and desires of security, which is money mainly. Okay, because she has fear, and if I take the money away, you fear that I'm gonna take the money away. But instead, back in those days, it was about the hand. It's about the belt. Okay, so if you have a child, so you know what I'm leading on to this right here. We understand it. We so far we understand the concept, but I'm trying to keep it down to 10 minutes because I'm precise. Okay, sometimes I random on, but it's okay. Once you whip that child at a young age, as early as it depends on what the fuck they did. Once you start whipping that child, you need to put some pain in that child's ass. When I say person, you can do it in reality too. But now these days, people want to call cops all the time. They don't want to learn. Okay. So once you start giving the welling on that child without believing bruises or some shit, you need to put some pain on that ass. Just like your wife or your girlfriend, if you're the real McCoy, you know what I'm saying? Then they will learn that you are no joke. You're not to be fucked with. How many times I have to strangle my wife up into the air and fling her ass? Okay, you think I did that shit? You think I'm strong enough to lift a woman up by her neck and then raise her up? You can sometimes do that to the child, but don't break the child's neck. But if you have to do it twice or more, maybe there's an attention problem. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? You go with one friend, and the child may like the pain. So that's another twisted shit. That's on a whole different ball game. Some kids actually intentionally like the pain because it turns them on because they're born differently. It may come from one of the parents. Some people like pain, so they want it more. So children can feel this too. You got to be open minded. God damn it, okay? So that's all I really wanted to say. If the child can receive pain a lot, and then at the next level down is like you show them different things to help them with their memory because they like pain so much. So the last resort is your child is retarded. Isn't that simple? I'm like, sometimes I see kids running and bumping their heads into the wall, and I'm like, that is an autistic child. Autism is a nice word. But retarded, you can see retardation in people's faces. There's nothing you can do, and you automatically should receive an SSI check. Okay, so we got that down into 10 minutes. That's all I wanted to say, you brothers and sisters of light time. What else is there to say? It's really fucking simple to understand if your child is mentally ill or not. It's not fucking hard. Beating is a good way of training a child. than communicating, because you can't no longer give them any physical discipline. When you communicate, this is a form of, because that whippings ain't working. You can't bruise the child. So the next step up is to communicate with the child and usually take things away from the child. And the child would start to have tantrums or some shit. I don't. You can call it whatever you want. But if you beat your child and that child didn't learn, and then you talk to your child and the child still didn't learn, you have to start at an early age. My daughter, she bows, she worships me. When my daughter ever say some shit like, "I hate you, daddy," I said, "I hate you too, motherfucker. I don't want your motherfucker." That's, my daughter starts bowing and said, she worships. She worships. I said, "I'm sorry, Dad, I'm sorry. I don't want to give you nothing anymore." Because I don't beat my daughter. Okay, I don't beat my daughter. I use extension cords. I use frying pans, okay? And if the frying pans and extension cords don't work, I don't beat my daughter with my hand. That's the nice way, okay? I start off hard. Tough love works wonders. Tough love does work wonders. But don't be doing that in public, because you know how people are who ain't disciplined. Most people ain't disciplined out there. They are not disciplined. So when you see you whipping a child and they've been had a spoon in their mouth, okay, they don't look at that. They look at that, look down on that. You gotta take that child to the bathroom somewhere. You gotta take them out of the public. Too many liberals out there. Why is my camera focusing in and out like that? I don't know. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say, y'all brothers and sisters. I'm getting tired of this shit. It's not fucking hard to understand if your child is autistic, retarded, or just fucking with you, because they don't respect you. Other than that, peace out to you, brothers and sisters. Orlando, what's on my page? And if you have any questions, and also Rustface, you put it down below. Everything is monitored, screened, and approved. And as I said before, I don't work for free. Okay, so don't be cheap about me. Okay, because my personality is unique. All right. Peace.